getting it in. Now it's time to interview the good doctor.
Interview the doctor?
You know.
Hello everyone, it's your girl Angie Winder here again each and every Tuesday, spotlighting some great people in the community, here with my co-host Brother Nance.
Hey,
Do not call him Mr.
Peace and health, beautiful people. Brother Nance in the building.
Hey.
And we're here with the good doctor, Dr. Berkley.
Doctor.
Let's give him a little round of applause.
Hey, doctor.
Dr. Berkley.
I'll be doctor in a few months.
He said yes,
We
yes.
speak it in existence around here.
In a few months.
You're already a doctor.
So, as you all know, each and every week we spotlight great people in the community, and we wanted to spotlight soon-to-be Dr. Kyle Berkley. He is author of the book named The Wake, and we're going to talk about, he put it out, we're going to talk about the book that he has and other accomplishments that he's made in the community, as well as just through his organization and so forth. Also, congratulations. I did say that Councilman Christopher Burnett was my first elected official, and I'll just say that Kyle would be my second one. So congratulations on being elected to the State Central Committee and the District 44A. Great accomplishment.
Nice.
Being re-elected, shall I say? And
that was the first.
So right. So thank you for coming on the show. Not only does he just promoting a book and been re-elected to the State Central Committee, he is also a core member to Restoring the Village. So every time you see us doing things in the community, understand that he is a part of the core team. We pour together and we just brainstorm. He's a part of the mental health, behavioral health area. So a lot of times we're trying to reach out to different people in the community. I'm always going to Kyle for a lot of advice and resources. So thank you just for your investment in Restoring the Village, first of all. And second, congratulations even more on your book release. It is a great accomplishment to finish a book. I know I'm struggling. You got to get me to sit down. But thank you for coming on. You know, you want to talk about anything. We're going to talk about the book, but anything that you would like to bring up at this moment before we get into the meat of the book, because I really want to dive into some things in the book.
Okay, awesome. I'm just ready to go.
Okay. All right. So, can you just give us when did you publish it?
So
and the background of it and so forth, the history of it.
So the book was actually published on July 5th, I believe. Actually, you know what? It was a few days after July 5th. So my father actually passed away on July 5th. The book was supposed to came out a little bit before then, and he was sick. He passed away, and we wound up moving the date back to I think July 11th.
That's my brother's birthday.
Yeah. So we kind of started off slow with the promotion of it because of the death of my father.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry to hear about that too.
Absolutely.
But I mean, he lived a great life. He was a blessed man and wonderful guy.
And have a blessed son.
Thank you. So we really started getting full swing with the promotion around August, and it's been doing great. so far.
Awesome. Let's talk about the book. You know, what is it about? I know, Brother Ron just don't be nervous. I mean, you doing book signing. You about to be the soon-to-be doctor. You can't be. So tell us about, about the book.
Well, the book follows a family, so it tells several different stories that all intertwine. I am trying to master that.
I know, keep falling.
There we go. My brother. Takes a village.
Look, that's the doctor there.
You know what? It's out there, but we got it.
Okay. So the book follows multiple individuals in the community, and of course there is a wake in the book. So I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm trying to tap dance around.
I know, because you want people to read it.
Different things, because I want people to read it.
Yeah.
But it really follows a matriarch in a family who's a community leader, and it follows her family, and she is aging, and she's facing her own mortality, and it explores the family dynamic within her family and the struggles that they have within the community with gentrification, substance abuse, family trauma such as child molestation, and
so it's deep.
Right, it's deep, and then it kind of goes somewhere else as well, because it explores like the dynamic between two different family members, two cousins. It explores basically the theory of nature versus nurture. While one person had a lot of things afforded to them in life, and mind you, these are two cousins, the other did not have everything afforded to them in life. So where one progressed at a certain crossroad, another one stalled. So you get to really see strength perspective come into play there as well with the two.
So how long did it take for you to like put the book together, or how long were you writing the book?
That is a great question. So I originally started writing this book back in 2006, I want to say. It started out as a song back when I was doing music.
You do music?
Yeah, I used to produce, I used to write. So it started out as a song. Spoiler alert, there's a character named Tina who the song was based off of.
Okay.
And I realized there's a lot to this story that I cannot put into words for music, but I felt like it would have made for a great story. And every time I felt like that the story was done, I put the pen down, I had to write a little bit further. And you get the opportunity to work in different communities, and you see like a lot of different things happen in Baltimore. Lived experience working in different, working in the community at the state central committee level, being a community leader, working with different kids and everything with my nonprofit, and working at Mountain Manor and healthcare for the homeless and Project Place. And you get to realize there's a lot of problems and a lot of things that go with a blind eye.
Right.
So I really wanted to really touch on that.
So I like how and when I skimmed through it, because I didn't really get a chance to read the book or look at it, but I see it was based off of like dates. So is it like in a was it written in like a chronological way of like the story, or?
I'll put it to you this: each chapter is written in the same timeline. Okay. So where I'm going to give some hypothetical dates. So where a chapter could start at June 1st, 2016, and end December 1st, 2016, the next chapter could start around that same time frame as well. Okay. So it's giving each person's perspective
on their own time frame. So each chapter is kind of like its own story.
Exactly.
That's kind of
But
dope.
it expounds on the story altogether.
Okay, so they're connected. Okay, that's slick.
Yeah. Now, you had, so I'm just blown that you just said that it started as a song to a book.
Yep.
And.
Yes, there's an and.
And. So what else is coming out of this wake? Because it actually is waking everything up. So, you went from a song to a book, and I'm hearing a movie.
Yes, we have started shooting scenes. Originally, we was going to try to work on a pilot.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't know that part. You know, the song part, but yeah.
Yeah, I started working with Devin, and Devin is...
Shout out to Devin. Devin was on the show.
Yes, yes.
Yes, he is phenomenal. Very phenomenal. So we started shooting a scene about 3 weeks ago. And so far what we shot was phenomenal. We casted a few people. We casted a character in the book that's named Tina, who the song was named after. And primarily that's who the book was centered around originally. And we started shooting that scene. And the actor who's playing her is phenomenal. I have to say that.
Yeah, we won't do spoilers, but we want you to know that this book has awakened so much that he's been holding in to it actually going to end to be a movie.
That's
and
what's
I'm
up.
really excited about to seeing
Congratulations,
the final result of that. So, and I know with Devin Walker, I know with Devin being a part of that, it will be a phenomenal project. So, I'm really excited about that. Now, is there anything in particular, any life change or any, I was just say anything that inspired you to even begin the song, you know, or just begin to pick the pen up? What transpired to?
You live long enough, you get to see a lot of experiences. Especially when I did a lot of writing music-wise, I like to write from the perspective of the person viewing the situation. So a lot of the songs, even when I did music, was based off of other people's stories. So I was telling the story from their point of view a lot of times. So when I wrote this, I wrote each chapter from the point of view of the character that was a lived experience that may or may not be a real person in real life.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Tina's not a real person.
Yeah, let's assume that Tina's not a real person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, her name wouldn't be Tina anyway. It would probably be like Sabrina. I'm joking.
Tina.
Now, are you still doing like casting calls or still
Yes.
looking for? Okay, still looking for actors and actresses to be in the show. Oh, well, the movie. So, yes, if anybody wants to even be a part of that, I mean, let me know. My 3-year-old is ready. But you know, if anyone would like to be a part of this project, you know, just reach out to Kyle. It is I saw that you all. I won't do the spill here, but I saw a portion of it where you actually was at the cemetery.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's you all are going over and beyond and really trying to make this most realistic project that you can have. And so I know that it would be awesome because you and Devin really make sure that you give 110%. So I do know that. One of the things I was looking at when I was looking at the back of the book is, and I'll just kind of read a little bit. What are the secrets that stay hidden when we pass? What are the damning stories we hide from others? Who are the people that continue on after our chapter ends? What is our legacy? I want to stop right there because that's deep right there in itself. And so it's like, what is our legacy? And can you just give us like a meat of even that portion? Because that right there is just, I don't even have to read the rest of it, but you know, it's that right there to me. I mean, I know I look at a lot of things. I don't want to just help someone, just give a resource, get them into a house or help them with their rent or whatever. I want to make an impact, you know, that's lasting. I always say that, you know, with my husband's passing, that a legacy can never die.
Right.
And so that right there stood out to me. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to start reading it because we are supposed to be at their phone banking. But so I really didn't have the time. But I know how deep that is to me because I want to make sure that I leave a legacy behind for others that will really inspire. So you can just talk about that, what you wrote on the back of the book.
So as far as the legacy, I'll start off with the matriarch because I don't want to dive too far into spoilers.
I know. That's what we're gonna try. We're gonna try our best, like not to really get into. But
as far as legacy, I'll start off with the matriarch. So her name is Florence Sims, and
not Hurricane Florence.
not Hurricane Florence. Lord Jesus.
if so, we have an issue.
Well, Florence is like a hurricane.
Oh gosh, no.
Shouts out to all my family in South Carolina. Y'all be safe.
Yes.
Y'all know what
Sorry
it
to
is.
make a joke. When I heard her name, I'm embracing myself right now.
St. Paul Pentecostal, how y'all doing? Shouts out from Baltimore City. That's my publisher right there.
Oh, she's on there.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I did see Cheryl. Hello. Hi, Cheryl. Now listen, he's messing up because he's going live from his phone, but please no.
Yeah, sorry about that. My bad, y'all. For y'all that don't know, Cheryl is.
But shout out to Cheryl, yes.
A big deal with this book because before we got this finished product,
try it again.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Nice colors too, man.
So, what was I about to say? So, as far as legacy, so the main character, Florence Sims, she is a person who has struggled a lifelong journey of hardships and came into her own. And when you meet her, she's an older woman and she is dealing with her health challenges. I won't go into detail because I don't want to spoil it. But she's dealing with her health challenges. And what she realized throughout her life is she was afforded the chance of having something to build a legacy off of, which is the house that she lived in. Her grandfather, he built it himself, all the way down to the kitchen table. So she had the benefit of having something. So at her age in life, she basically looked around at her family, and there was a lot of things that were suppressed. Even though she was dealing with her health challenges, a lot of those things blurred it out because these are the things that she's thinking about: is what is she leaving behind, and what is it that afforded her to have what she has, and she's looking now towards the next generation. So she looks at her kids, and she looks at her grandkids, and I'll leave you with that to enjoy the story.
Yeah, that's good.
Where the challenges really come involved, because on top of her being a grandmother and a matriarch in the family, she's also a community leader. And the community is faced with a lot of challenges, which include gentrification. There's also crime, and there's also the issue between the police department and the community. So, like, there's a huge disconnect there on a lot of different levels. So there's the story of her and how she's navigating, and then there's the story of basically her legacy, which is her offspring and her offspring's offspring, and how they navigate through the challenges.
And even on the front of this book, we fight. Even Brother Nance said it was like powerful. We fight, we build, we grow together. And so very, very inspiring to know that the things that are going to be said in this book will be able to help us grow, help us build, help us fight through all of the struggles that we have. And, and even, I don't know, how much is fictional, non-fictional out of it, but definitely something that we all can acknowledge that we've seen it, we're seeing it now.
And you're also talking about, like, that's one major thing in families, like when it is like death or transition or even passing the legacy on, it's like, who do you pass the legacy on?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of times that becomes a challenge, like, especially in our community, because a lot of times some families don't have things planned out.
And why is that?
I'm not going to get into the whole insurance piece.
I'm so serious.
No, I mean, I'm not even on the insurance piece, but I mean, just being prepared in general. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like the insurance piece, that's a whole topic.
Sure.
But just
but I mean, I don't know. I just know for me, if I had a person that was out there not living a right life, that's one bill I'm gonna make sure get paid. That life insurance, because that's another way they want to make change. When you're making change during the war, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And
well, not just living a not right life, but the right life as well, because
absolutely,
we have a lot of family members who own homes,
right,
things like that, and we see them go real quick when we lose a family member because there wasn't a will in place.
And you know what's so
Will.
crazy? You said that a good brother of mine, the
Will.
guy who helped raise me, Mr. Ishmael, he when he passed, I remember before he passed, I was talking to him about my grandmother's home, and he was like, "Man, don't you ever sell a home in the city? Like, no matter what, I don't care what you do, just make sure you keep that home in the city." You know, and so when I think about, that's always gonna stick with me, even during the challenging times, you know, as an adult, you know, living in Baltimore, that we always gonna have to fight, especially for our elders, like in the community, to make sure that they're well taken care of. You know what I mean? So when I was reading the title in the back, I was just like, wow, that is a real life struggle that people really go through. Like, who do you leave this to? Who's gonna be responsible for that? Are you gonna leave it within two people? Are those two people gonna get along based off your decision? Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, why she give it to you and she know, I mean, you don't get along, or y'all were getting along, and then you not being in charge because you are a dominant personality type and you want to be in charge. There's be so many different factors in it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just really hard, man. So I commend you on even writing this from that type of perspective. I can't wait to read it. Hopefully Angie will let me, you know.
I have copies.
Okay.
So I have this one right here.
Okay. How much is the book retailing for, and where can people buy it, purchase the book?
So the books are $15.
Okay.
They're sold on Amazon, iTunes, Kindle, Google Play,
Look. I'm telling you, he got that thing down.
Barnes and Nobles, Kobo.
Okay.
I'm hoping I'm not missing anything.
Now, are you
Everywhere.
having any because you said the book
Book
been out since
signing.
when?
The book has been out since the 11th of July.
July. So are you doing, I mean, it's been what, a couple months?
Actually, I'm having a book signing on the 20th of this month.
Okay, where at? Tell the
At the
people where.
Station North Arts Cafe, Nancy by Snack,
Okay.
which is right at the Maryland Institutional College of the Arts.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
getting Mika all way jammed up.
So let me ask you.
The
so,
Micah. Yes.
Yeah, I completely
Yeah.
butchered.
So soon to be Dr.
I'm
Berkley.
sorry.
So soon to be Dr. Berkley. So is the book geared towards a particular age range audience, or is it open to, like, would I be able to get this to a teen reader, let's say?
I think you could give it to a teen reader, 15 plus.
Okay.
Just because there are some themes in there that I would really say that you would probably want to talk about, like as far as child molestation, things like that.
So it'll be a good family read
I was
book.
gonna
Like, you
say,
can read
just
as a
the
group and
group,
discuss
period.
each chapter. Like, so when you do your book signings, is it like an interactive thing, or are you going to be reading from the book and we discussing it? I know you don't want to tell us what's the
No, I'll
scheme.
definitely be reading from the book.
And we're gonna do a discussion.
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say that would be
Yeah,
good.
that'd be hot. Yeah, because just how the book structure is, I think it's gonna be very interactive type of dialogue. 'Cause people gonna be able to
There
relate
is-
to it.
20th
Cool.
is a Thursday.
Yes, it's a Thursday from 5 to 7
I know.
at Nancy by Snack.
Is it a cost?
No, it's
Free?
coming.
Okay. Hey, you heard it, man. It's gonna be September the
Yeah, sure.
20th.
I promise it's
September the
Really all
20th at the
at the Nancy by Snack.
Nancy by Snack.
And we'll make sure we
Get
we'll
all that
post it
information
too,
out
in case
there,
he
you
has
know.
it wrong. His face is like.
You know, because one thing we have to do is when people
Hey,
write good works, we have to support. You know, we have to put the information out there and, you know, have creative ways. I would love to see how we can get some schools involved with this book too, man, because they're dealing with a lot of this, with all the deaf and stuff that they're dealing with young. You know, they need to have something to see different perspectives, and maybe they'll make better choices, you know, with how to deal with grieving and things like that may come up. So, yeah, man, I commend you.
I love the fact that, you know, Brother Nance just said, just getting connected with the students and schools and even that interaction, you know. Yes, some things are deep, and we may think that it might be too deep for them, but some of them may have already been exposed
They
to
tell
it.
you some things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They be able to tell us
I
some
mean,
things.
I guess you would have to connect to each school to see how they want to go about it. But I think that, you know, having these discussions with the youth is a very good approach. And even just to let them know that, you know, you have people there that can help. So.
And the fact that it's you're about to be a doctor, that's a whole nother story in itself for the
yeah.
kids to you can speak on and have them something to achieve. You look just like them. You know what I mean? So that's important too.
Do you know Better Tomorrow starts today?
No.
No, I need you to get connected. We're gonna talk about it after. So they are. It's a wraparound behavioral health services. It's right, actually not too far from here. Actually, right around the corner. And look, I had to say, And they actually want to partner with Restoring the Village as well as myself, just for the State Central Committee platform as far as doing voter registration. So I'm definitely going to get you connected. But they have an entire behavioral health services, and it's Black owned.
Nice.
There are different sites, and when I walked in, I was blown away. Like, they have everything from life skills, a life skills room where they show you how to, wash clothes and just everything. They have a section for the children, a multi-purpose room where they're doing a lot of things in the community. And I just love the fact that what Brother Nash just said, looking like them. And it's not to say, about speaking any racism or anything, but we got to be real. Like, we're getting doctors or psychiatrists, psychologists in the schools, and they don't look like them. And one of the feedbacks I received was that a lot of the students are not willing to even open up because they feel like they can't relate. So I know that you've been reaching out, and I don't know specifically if it's been youth or just, entire population, but I know it has to be, you have to be getting good feedback because you're touching a population of, a lot of the Black populations, just be real. And that's definitely a plus, and I commend you just for going forward, to get your doctors and, to go forward with this, because it is very beneficial, and you're gonna go far. I know it. You're gonna go far because your heart is there. Your heart is definitely there. So we appreciate that. Now, I'm kind of twisted a little bit. Can you tell us some things that are going on, or even just for anyone who doesn't know, your organization, the For Us Initiative? Could you let us know about your organization and any things that are coming up?
So we're a nonprofit organization. We work twofold. We have two programs that we're focusing on, which is the PX program, Prime Example, and Thomasina's House. So Prime Example is designed to do preventive care for adolescents.
Yes.
We haven't really had like a drop-off age as far as young, but right now I'm guesstimating between 14 to 21.
Nice.
With there, we do preventive counseling. It all started out, we were taking kids out on weekends,
which is good.
Go-karting, going to Monster Jam, football games, baseball games, you name it. We were really active in that department, and we just continue just to grow. So right now we work with 3 certified teachers. Michael Taylor, he helped me start doing what I'm about to talk about, which is the IT program, the future professionals of tomorrow.
Nice.
So with that,
look at him, tell me all this stuff.
That's what's up.
He's been hiding. He come out with some other extra stuff.
No, well, this is something
it.
that we've been trying to work on for about 2 years. So we were trying to partner with Harlem Park Baptist Church. Thank you, Dr. Kevin Carr, for a lot of your work and your efforts in helping us with that. And some things just didn't line up over there. So we were trying to look at the overhead because Coppin helped donate, I think, 20 computers so we could do this IT training program so kids could come in and come out with.
So what do you need?
Right now we need an overhead, but kids can come in and they could learn how to build and program computers and come out within, I think, 3 months they could get their A+ certification.
Nice.
And if they continue,
look at that.
they could.
That's what I'm talking about.
Listen,
and this is without charge.
Skills. That's what I'm talking about. Giving them skills.
Listen. Look, I'm just sitting here
bro.
like, really, you know.
Coppin donated 20 brand new computers towards the end of last semester.
Nice.
So it was a
Shout out to them Eagles, baby.
Yeah, Eagles. That's where I started my college career.
That's what's up. My mother Eagle.
Look at you. So yes, if there's anyone out there that can support the For Us initiative, please reach out to me, either myself or soon to be Dr. Kyle Berkley. Is doing a lot of great things in the community. As I stated, we want to spotlight him just for taking a step to be an author, but just to hear all of the things that he's doing even for our youth was good.
And with the Thomasina's housing program, that's actually a housing program for homeless families and victims of domestic violence.
Look at that.
So that's actually active as we speak.
It was, and we're trying to get funding now so that we can really be active.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you even get started in this field, or like what inspired you to go the route you went as far as education wise?
Believe it or not, like a lot of people, this was not the route that I actually thought I had to take. Went to high school. Proc, who's a member of Restoring the Village.
Yes.
You can attest to this.
Shout out.
I was really involved in
Kareem.
the music scene for a long period of time, and that's what I wanted to do. So I went to Coppin, and I did more partying than I did class.
Okay. Thanks for keeping it real.
I'm about to keep it
Thanks
real.
for keeping it real.
So I waited until my senior year to decide to go off and do other things instead of just finishing school then at Coppin. And lived life a little bit, worked at various places. I worked for the state, worked at the hospital, and for the longest time I really didn't know what I wanted to do, so I bounced around different jobs, supermarket, worked in the prison for a little bit as a correctional officer, did patient transport at the hospital. I even worked for this place called Core Office Supplies. They didn't pay me, they still owe me.
Somebody said, my man Kyle, what up?
Who said that?
Dwayne Jackson said, what up?
Dwayne
What's
Jackson.
going on with you? How you feeling?
You know him.
See, he knows me for real because he called me by my nickname.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say it out loud.
So, for the longest time, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do something, I just didn't know what it was. And I started talking to different people, and especially working at the hospital, I was exposed to different professions, and I learned about social work. And I was like, wait a minute, this is a real job. Like, not saying like it wasn't a real profession, but it was just
you had your voila, this is it moment.
Because growing up, I grew up in South Baltimore and Westport, so you don't really think of like a lot of jobs, like, because you're not really exposed to like a lot of that. So it's like you see police officers, like, I don't want to do that.
Definitely.
So
that's another show there.
Yeah, that's not a knock on cops. I'm just being
No,
real.
it ain't no knock, but that's definitely, we got to talk about that one, Brother Nance.
Because I don't want the firearm task force to chase me. So that was subtle shade.
Listen, oh gosh.
I am not a reflection of
The views expressed on this show.
No, we need to do a disclaimer, right?
But but I mean, like, you have police officers, and then you're like, well, what about being a teacher? And they're like, well, you got to pass the proxy to teach. Like,
Don't tell me about that.
Talk about tests.
Yeah, I was gonna say that scares people away, right?
So,
It's just
so you're like, oh well, what are you gonna do? Like,
What
I
you
don't know.
saying?
Like, well, my mom was like, why don't you do computers, like IT? You're real good at that. I did it for a little bit, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do this. So it's like, I'm good at music. I'm just do music. Like, well, what's your backup plan? Because
that's what my daughter did.
and when you hit 25, 26, you're like, yeah, well, I ain't really nowhere right now. So this isn't working.
So it's kind of like to me, it sounded like you was already preparing for your journey from all the type of careers or opportunities. Like, you're working with different people, personalities. Like you said, you've seen a lot in the hospital. I'm pretty sure you've seen a lot at the, forgot the one job you said, but I mean, all of them sound like, even a correctional officer, you dealing with mental health there off the rip. So it's like your steps was already kind of being aligned for you to kind of see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why I asked that question, because that's not a profession that you can go to school for years to be a social worker or a psychiatrist or a doctor or whatever it is, and still can't make the connection with people.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I tell people all the time, like, you can go to school to be a teacher, but you can't be taught how to teach.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's either in you or it ain't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, you can't teach the compassion that you have for the work that you do. So that's why I had asked that question. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
You have to have the passion because, some people get into it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, because there ain't no money in it. You got to make your money.
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
make your own money in
Yeah.
that field.
And you just gotta be passionate about it. If you're not, and let me just say, let me see, we got that energy there. I love the fact again that Brother Nance just mentioned. Sometimes I feel like that. I will agree with that. God takes us on a journey, and it's all preparing us for this wild out moment, you know. And even during this Restoring the Village, you know, people may look at it and say, well, you know, crime is still up, this is still this, but you just don't know how many people have I already impacted that would not have if I had not done that. Or, and I mean, I say I make it personal, but if half of these organizations didn't exist, or people like Brother Nance, people like, you know, Dr. Berkley, the world, this city would have been, you know, worse than what it was. And so a lot of people, you just gotta be passionate about it and understanding again that a lot of things prepare us. I spoke all the time, even with Devin. Devin had me tearing up when he did my little documentary. But when I look at, you know, my life, 15 years ago, I lost my husband, and I just sat there and was like, God, you know, I was angry. I started this didn't work. I started that wasn't it. You know, just to try to feel my way through until I actually really found, you know, that niche of it. And so to know that, and I have to bring this up because I won't say his name, but at one point last year, because it's been a year, been on a radio show, but last year I came on a show as a guest, and I was just like, I want to host my own show, you know, and I don't know what the time going to be, but I want to host my show. And so you got to commit to your time. You got to be dedicated, because you never know who's listening. And even if you think no one's listening, I got a message from a guy, and I'm going to read it, but I'm not going to say his name. So he posted something. He said, September 11th, this was today, September 11th, 2002, I received a 30-year sentence at the age of 20. I thought I lost my life that day, but the reality is that was the starting point of me being reborn again. And he said, Allah is the greatest. What seemed like the worst day of my life turned out to be the best day of my life, because God saved my life that day. That was mercy. And the reason I brought him up is because last year I was on the radio, 88.9, the Final Call with Minister Carlos Muhammad. And this brother, that was New Year's Eve. This brother in July, he was released, and he sent me a message, and he said, how are you doing? I just want to say that I can appreciate the work you have done or will do in our communities. He said, the purpose of this message is because I wrote Angie Smith in my book as a people to contact upon my release. He's out now.
That's what's up.
You know, it's just like, you never know why you're going through all this. You may have started one thing, say that's not it. This person still may owe you money, but that was your reason. It was a purpose for you to go through all of that to get to where you're getting ready to be, Dr. Berkley. And you never know who you're inspiring. This man, I've not met him. We're gonna meet up at the mosque, but I've never met him, and to know that he was listening to me in jail. You know, and
yeah, because I never would have thought I was gonna be a teacher. Like my teachers be like, "Oh, you a teacher? Like what the?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm surprised." And my mother was a teacher. I come from a family of educators, but it was like I didn't even want kids, so it was just like for me to be loving what I do, and it was like the best job I ever had. Like the only job I could wake up for early and somewhat be on time, but
somewhat,
be on time. No, because I mean I was on time, but I wasn't on time. You know what I mean? Like I was on my time. Like you know what I mean? Like I got there. You say we got the grace period. I got to be there before class start. I'm strolling there with the breakfast crowd, with the breakfast kids. You know what I mean? So like, but I was a fantastic teacher. But like again, you never know. You know why? I feel like everything that I've done has been kind of by accident. Like I didn't plan to be in no museums and be a part of a historic movement and walk into DC and all that. Like I never planned. I didn't wake up and be like, "Yo, this is what I want to do for my life." But all of it, even down to owning a juicing company and trying to change the health of our people. You know, not just our people, but people in general. You know, I didn't ask for that. I didn't know, but I think about all the things that my mother taught me and my grandmothers taught me and the things that I saw, you know, and was exposed to young. You know, it all adds up now. Like, oh, all right, that's why I do this and that. And, you know, I'm losing my dad when I was in the 5th grade. Like, that's why I taught 5th grade and 6th grade. And that's probably why I have a connection with youth while they're transitioning, whether they have an active father or, you know, a father that's inactive. Just having a positive role model or someone around cheering you on. That's what most people need, somebody just to cheer you on. Like, You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with you, Angie.
Wow, look at that. I think we need to be having like round tables, you know, like, and it actually just put a little light bulb. I hate that. You know, I'm like, I sit there, I'm like, Angie, you can't say yes to everything or start this thing, but I think it's something that we can do. When you just said, you know, even helping the youth that have lost their fathers. I mean, it could be very well that from death. But it also could be incarceration, because I received a message today that someone's struggling because their father, which I won't go say too much about it, but you know, their father is incarcerated, and so even that is a loss, you know. And so having, you know, I commend all of you, and I especially love when the men are just really sorry women, but I especially love when the men are just like go-getters and they just out there really connecting, because it goes beyond. It could just be an absence of the father don't want to do his part. You just don't understand the impact of not being there. You know,
I tell people all the time, it's not about money, it's about time. Like, it's about that time. Like, it's not about
they don't care. They can you can say, look, I gave them these Jordans, da 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 da. They looking at like they ain't seen them. You know, at the time.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a whole show about that. Because,
we need to.
You know what I mean? It's a whole dynamic on know fathers and mothers. You know, and it's a. Like parenting. I said before, we have parenting. Like once you are connected with someone by bringing another life into this world, you're related. You know what I mean? And once you related, you know, like I said before, you don't like your family members every day, but you're gonna love them. And whether it was a slip up or a planned situation, you know what I mean? It was some type of connection there or some type of lustful feeling there. You know what I mean? So you know, I think that we had to have a whole nother. You know what I'm saying?
That need to be a round table one.
Yeah, because it's real. I don't think it's that.
I need interaction.
I think it's not that hard. I was looking at something they was talking about. I was reading something that Nas had wrote on Instagram, like that long soliloquy he wrote about what he been going through and how he had to be quiet all these years and dealing with the child support situation. So we was talking about the last time, like, you know, it's just so many things that like impact us. And one thing I wanted to say was, like, when we was talking about just our people, it's okay for us to want to stand up for our, that's not being racist. That's just caring about being black and caring about our condition, our community. And I had to tell my mother that, like, I forgot over the years you're kind of conditioned as you're working jobs and getting in careers. Your activism is kind of pushed to the back, you know what I mean? Like, but that stuff is already instilled in you from the beginning, and like, I'm just so happy to be glad that it was taught early, so that way it's not nothing new. So when people say you woke, you can be woke and don't even know what's going on around you. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm just glad that it was instilled early, whereas though, now I can really utilize the power that was instilled in me when I was young. For this platform and this particular time, because I, you know, this is something I always wanted to do, broadcasting and all that, and it just happened to be I come on the show, and you know what I mean. Angie told me stop calling her Miss Angie, so Angie, I'm older than her. I was calling her Miss Angie. All right, Miss Angie, Sister Angie.
Look, the guy was like, "Hey, Auntie." I'm like, "Auntie, bro, no, what we not gonna do?"
No, you got Auntie.
And then when I saw the post, I'm like, bro, you like a couple years younger than me. Come on now, give me big sis or something.
Yeah, big sis, you know, big little sis, big little sis.
You older.
Big little sister, big little sister, big little sister.
So yeah, look, we're gonna be doing some. I don't know if it's gonna be round tables or whatever, but I want some interaction, you know, audience interaction for some deep conversation.
Yeah, let's have some experts in their field. Bring the good doctor back that can talk about the things that he specializes in, and we can really have a deep conversation, you know, so everybody can, you know, feel, you know, I look at all these different things that they show of, like experts and this, that, and the third. We don't put our experts together enough. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be the expert at everything. You know what I mean? Like, so we need to have different experts in different fields, even if it's the same, 2 educators in the building, 2 psychologists, 2 social workers, a police officer, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to get that deep, but, you know, I definitely think that more community talking that can get more action done, because you're doing some great work. This is my first time hearing about your work, you know what I mean? That's a problem for me, you know what I mean? Because I should know when someone is doing great work in the community, but we're so all got our nose to the ground that we never, and we need to recharge more than anyone. You know what I mean? So us as advocates, I don't call us activists, I say advocates. I'm not an activist at all, I'm an advocate.
I hate that word.
Yeah, I don't like that word. I don't even like the word legacy, you know what I mean? I like foundation, you know what I mean? Like, Because you can have a legacy and it can be, like you said in the book, it can be tarnished, it can be broken. Someone else can destroy it, what you put all the work in for to do. But if you're building a foundation that's solid, you know what I mean, windows and doors, and you know what I mean, like, you know, everybody will know their role in their position. So I think hopefully we can get some more round table discussions, and you know, having people want to come on and really share, because it's about action and talking, but we have to talk and plan too. You know what I mean? Plan to work together, not just make a plan. Let's plan to connect the dots. Like I told you when we was talking offline about what I'm doing with the juice and how we can possibly help support what you're doing. You know, it's all calculated, man.
We're all connected.
It's all connected. We all calculated. We all related. We all one. You know what I mean? So I love the book, man. I can't wait to read it. You know what I mean? I got to get a copy soon. You know what I mean? I maybe could do some exchanging for some juice. You know what I mean?
I got some copies.
I appreciate it.
Now, Brother Nan said about staying woke. Now we can say
the wake. You already know. The wake. You know what I mean?
You know,
what made you pick that title though, bro? It's such a, like I said, I interpreted it in so many different ways. I was like, when I read the title and I saw the book on Angie's page, I was like, oh, this book must be about like people waking up, because the hands is like young people. I didn't know. I didn't think of wake, like, because I don't think about death like that. You know what I mean? I think about living, but I know death is a part of life. You know what I mean? So I didn't even associate this with that.
Well, it's a lot of living. There is death. But
that's what I'm saying. I misinterpreted
it's
the
more
book.
Focus on the living, believe it or not, or the life that different people live, but those are left behind.
And that is a dope. That's what I'm saying. Like how you used it, it will make a person think this book is about, but it's about life and how to interpret the process or whatever. I haven't even read it, but I'm just my interaction of what you.
There's a lot of interpretations that you could take out of it.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to read it, though, on a serious note. Like, I ain't phony about that. Like, I'm serious. I'm excited to read it because it's a great perspective and something that a lot of people don't like to talk about, like different other people's perspectives of putting yourself in someone else's shoes, you know, to figure some things out. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's what's up, bro.
If anyone's still, well, I know you are, but if anyone's watching, you know, call in. Phone number is 404-436-1277. Again, it's 404-436-1277. If y'all have any questions, nice messages for Kyle, let us know.
Leslie Matthews said, Angie and one both for your blessings to the Baltimore community.
No.
Oh, thank you.
I love her.
Appreciate you.
Hey, Dwayne.
Look, he giving shout outs on his live.
Yeah,
make sure they call in. Call in 404-436-1277.
And donate to the brother organization. Donate to the brother organization. Angie's gonna put all the information on the page after we're done. Get into it, so she's gonna put all the information, how to get in contact if you need any services, anything like that.
And this is the reason why each and every Tuesday I make it my business to come out and spotlight different people in the community, because just as Brother Nan said, there are a lot of people doing great things work. And we need to give them that platform to talk about those things. And that is we have to support one another. That's just it. You know, it has to go that way.
My man Boom say we always
I was actually about to say that. Yeah, so Boom always say that, and we have to make sure that we are definitely supportive of one another. As Brother Nance, he got me on the Brother Nance said, you know, his juicing company, and Kyle with his book. I mean, every single thing. Even when you support Restoring the Village, it is a accumulation, a collaborative effort. We're helping everybody in the community, and as I stated, I love coming on Tuesdays and meeting different people in the community. And as you know, we're going to have someone else next week and a week after. And if others want to come on the show, please let us know. Shout out, just got to remember, I just reminded myself, but shout out to Dr. Ted Sutton and his daughter Genesis last week. Wow. I mean, they gave an awesome outro. They were singing, so maybe Kyle gonna sing. But no. But no, it was really nice. So you never know what you'll get on the show. And thank y'all for just continuing to tune in. So many great reviews and feedback and comments. It's like, I love it. It is It's yeah. That's like
I used to love watching
like
the show
high.
before I became a part of it. I used to love watching the show. I was like, oh man, like she got him on there, she got her on there. Like, that's what's up. I need to get on there.
Yes, and I'm glad you came on. That's how we got connected.
Hey,
well, we
man,
already knew
it
each
was
other.
already
but,
it was already pre-planned in our
Right.
steps. We didn't even know, you know.
So, Kyle, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything on here. Nope. So, if you could talk about the book signing one more time, just so they'll know the date, time, and what they'll be able to expect.
So the book signing is at Nancy by Snack, which is on North Avenue. It's between Merlin and Howard Street. It'll be from 5 to 7 on September 20th. And that is Nancy by Snack. I have it posted on my Facebook and my event area. I've been sharing it. I'm sure I've been getting on people's nerves on the timeline. My apologies, kind of.
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. Is there a, I hope I didn't miss it last weekend. Is there an event coming up this weekend?
There is.
Can you
There's
talk
the
about it?
Black Mental Health Expo.
Yes, please talk about
I
it.
will be there this weekend. I have to kind of kill my life.
Oh, no. You don't.
Wait, I don't have to
I
kill
can
my
bring
life.
in. Well, you can talk about it until I get the information up. Like, what can they expect there?
I know that there's going to be a panel.
Oh.
No, there's a lot that I'm looking forward to because there's a whole piece that I'm really excited about because there's that unknown, you know. So I'm very excited about that. But Dr. Kizzy, I want to say Ross, but she just got married. So her married name is Pritwell. I'm sorry for calling you Ross. I apologize. Not beat me up. I wouldn't mind, I swear. But Dr. Kizzy Pritwell, Dr. Hope. Actually, she's not doctor. Apologize. Hope is going to be there, and Latoya Mosby. She's awesome because I met Latoya back when I was in grad school. She worked at Mountain Manor. I did my internship at Mountain Manor. And again, going back to the whole doctor aspect, while I was there, I met Dr. Anthony Eastreet while I was there. And Dr. Eastreet, he was maybe a year older than me. He might be a year older than me. Might be 2 years. I think he's only a year older than me. But it was so cool to see somebody that looked like me that was around my age range. And he was a doctor. And it's like, huh? Whoa. Because, you know, you talk to, you see the name Dr. Anthony Street, you know, you call in for your interview. And you're like, okay, let's see. And like, listen to the voice on the phone. Like, he sounds young, but I'm sure it's an old guy. You know, and you go to the interview, you see him like, all right, so where's the doctor dude at?
Right.
And then he's talking like,
we don't
no,
see
I
it.
don't see the doctor yet. Where is he at? Then you realize, oh crap, he's Dr. Anthony Eastreet. And then a few days later, you start grad school and you realize the same guy that was doing the interview is teaching one of your classes. You're like,
Yeah.
dude, wait, it's black doctors. Like,
Exactly.
age,
You see
know,
what I'm saying? It's important.
It was the most weird.
And if you did that, just imagine our youth.
What?
So that's good. And so I did want to just say that the Black Mental Health Expo is going to be this Saturday from 12 to 5 p.m. And it's actually going to be, I don't know if the name is on here, but it is 8307 Philadelphia Road. I think it's a very good thing, as we were talking about just mental health. And again, the Black Mental Health Expo will be a good time to come out to support this event. It's also on the Restoring the Village project. I post a lot of events on there. There's some networking events going on this weekend. I mean, take a look at the Facebook page and you'll see all of the things that are on there. Trying to see if anything else was stood out. Nope. So make sure y'all go on there and look at all the events that we have. If anyone has an upcoming event, just send it to me. I'll post it on our page and it goes out to different groups as well. So as we come to a close, I again want to thank Dr. Kyle Berkley for coming on the show, and thank you for stepping out on faith.
Thank you.
You know, thank you for starting that song that turned to a book that's getting ready to turn to a movie. That's getting ready to empower a community that now got us awake.
and having conversations.
And get ready to do some conversations. That's right, Brother Nance. We're going to speak that one.
Cups and conversations, man. Cups of tea, coffee, whatever you want.
Now, I'm going to let Brother Nance close, but I do want to have you. I always put it on him.
Yeah,
I want you to just say, how can people contact you, Kyle Berkley, on social medias or anything else? Like, how would they be able to reach you?
Well, I'm on the Twitters, the Facebooks, and the Instagrams.
And the Instagrams. Just the way he said it.
As what, my brother?
Of gram.
I gotta get better with it.
Berkley, the number 4 US. So it's Berkley for us. All 3 are the same. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Can you spell Berkley for those auto text people or people that don't know how to spell?
Voila, magic. It's Berkley for us. US.
You heard that. Berkley, number 4, us, US.
So they got this whole little thing.
4, so don't
write
out
the number 4.
The number 4.
Somebody out there is doing that right now, and I'm going to encourage and pray for you to stop.
And please come out September 20th. And again, thank you, Kyle, for being a guest again. And you're always welcome. You already know that. And thank you for being a core member of Restoring the Village.
Nice. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
You have not kicked me out yet, so I must be doing something right.
Yes.
Not sure what it is yet. Joking.
Brother Nance.
So I just want to say peace and health to everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Restoring the Village Radio. And remember, man, we create great days, create the life you want, create the love that you want, create the energy that you want around you. We don't have good days, we create them. So peace and health to everyone. Have a good night. Stay encouraged. Be blessed. Love y'all.
Hey.
Where my DJ at? My DJ.